Nobody has to be poor. If you're in a country where they practice democracy, you don't have to be poor. You can be rich. Democracy gives you the opportunity to make yourself rich. But if you don't take that responsibility to make yourself rich, it is not the fault of anyone, it is your own fault. Living in the 21st century, you understand that every problem that you're facing is a problem of personal responsibility. When somebody is sick, it is a problem of personal responsibility. Somebody is having financial problem, it is a problem of personal responsibility. Everything comes down to personal responsibility. Everything. You can become very good in whatever you do. Your marriage can improve tremendously. Your health can improve tremendously. Your finance can improve tremendously. Everything in your life can improve tremendously the moment you accept personal responsibility. And that's the topic I want you to understand this morning. I'm talking to you about your belief. What is your belief? How do you believe in terms of responsibility? How do you look at responsibility? Do you consider yourself as a responsible person? How do you treat yourself? How do you look at yourself? All of us have got a personal opinion about ourselves. Can I say it one more time? All of us have got a personal opinion about ourselves. And in that personal opinion of yours, do you see yourself as a responsible person or not? That is the issue. If you see yourself as a responsible person to yourself, you have already started the path of success. You don't have a problem because you have accepted personal responsibility. When I first went to New Zealand, and in that year 1988, when I started in New Zealand, when I went for the training program, this is the worst thing I captured. Personal responsibility. Hey, until then I thought I was a responsible person. And then when I really looked at it, then I realized, my God, there are so many areas that I'm not responsible. That is why all those areas are problematic areas in my life. You look at your problems that you're facing, and you'll see it's a responsibility issue. It is not a problem, it's a responsibility issue. Because you don't want to take the responsibility, that becomes a problem in your life. If you take responsibility in that particular problematic area of your life, that problem will disappear. What is so difficult in selling? Oh, selling is a problem now. Selling is a tough job. No, selling is a very easy job if you take the responsibility to learn how to sell. If you take the initiative to learn how to sell, how must you do the job? What are the things that I need to know and to be a good life insurance agent, to be a good salesperson? You master all those things, which I mentioned last year. For those who are new this year, I'll come back to you on that later. Keep attending and I'll teach you. I've already covered this area, the 9 aspects of mastering selling. Top of the list is positive mental attitude, in case you have forgotten. Go back to your notes and you'll see. You've got to have positive mental attitude. That's at the top of the list. Anybody can become a master salesman if they learn all these 9 areas. Some of you have not bothered to continue learning on those areas. That is why your selling is not good. You're not selling effectively. Ooh, Sugu, you're whacking us one after another. Am I? I'm not whacking any one of you. I'm just trying to help you to understand. There is no problem out there. The problem is with you. Can you get my point? There was no problem out there for me. The problem was with me in 1988 when I was not doing well. And then in 1988, I turned my life around. And because I turned my life around because I accepted responsibility. And I can guarantee you, friend, in this year 2013, if you say, one of my goals is I'll become responsible. I will do things properly. I will make sure that I do everything in my life properly. And I will not give excuses. I can guarantee you 2013 will be the turning point of your life. What happened to me in 1988 was a turning point, all because I said I will not give any more excuses. I took responsibility of my life. I tell you a story. It was Vietnam War. The Vietnam War was going on. And a special mission was sent to Vietnam. A particular squadron was sent. All these are pilots. Highly technically skilled pilots to bomb some very important strategic points in Vietnam during the Vietnam War. So there was this pilot who was supposed to be the captain. Do you know when these pilots, when they fly, they don't show their rank, because if they show their rank, if they are captured, they will really torture them, because they know this fellow is the high ranking and he will know things that others will not know. Unfortunately or fortunately, this guy was shot down. And he survived the crash, but the Viet Cong or the communist Vietnamese caught him. And they started torturing him. This guy is a 6'5" guy, he's an American guy. You know how tall they can be? 6'5", well built. And they put him inside a cage that is 3 feet tall and 3 feet wide. Can you imagine how he can go inside that? He's squatting down like that. He was in that cage, a solid bamboo cage where he cannot come out because it's well fixed so that he can't break it and come out. And he was in that cage, and from time to time they'll soak him in the river and pull him up. Soak him in the river, pull him up. When he's about to drown, they'll pull him up. This kind of torture. And he had to be inside that cage. But military guys are trained to take torture, you know. They are trained for it. And he was in that cage for 7 years. He didn't die. 7 years he was in that cage. At the end of 7 years, the Vietnam War came to an end, and he was one of those prisoners of war that came back alive. Listen to the story now. The story begins now. First of all, he survived that 7 years of torture. But he came back to America, and he went back to his favorite golf club. And all his friends were so happy to see him back. And they welcomed him. And they said, "Wow, you're looking good, even though you've been in the, a prisoner." And he got another bigger shock. He took his golf sticks to play golf. He used to be just an average player during those days when he was there, before going to the war. And while he was in the military, he used to be an average player. Now, after coming back 7 years, being a prisoner of war, he took the golf stick and went to play golf. And you know what happened? He was winning like nothing. And they got a shock of their life. He said, were you really a prisoner of war or what? Were you playing golf in Vietnam or what? He was so good. Then they found out the secret. You see, for 7 years, this guy was in the cage. And you know what he was doing? He was exercising inside the cage. He pulled himself, he pushes himself, he strained himself inside the cage. He used isometric exercise. You know what's isometric exercise? You pressurize yourself, and then you tension yourself, you pressurize and relax. He was doing that kind of exercise inside the cage. He knows if he doesn't exercise, he will die. His body will become stiff. He will get all kind of other problems. So he kept on exercising physically until he's exhausted, until he's completely sweating and exhausted. And then from time to time they will torture him, and from time to time leave him alone. And when they leave him alone, he will exercise and he will torture himself, exercise and exercise. And then what he does at night when they leave him alone, you know what he does? He plays golf in his mind. He's playing golf in his mind. All the time playing golf in his mind. And when you play golf in your mind, you never lose. You always win. And he was winning in his mind. He was playing golf in his mind. He was playing golf, and he was getting sharper and sharper in his mind. How he'll hit the ball, how he'll control the ball. He was doing that for 7 years. When he came back, he was perfect. He was healthy, and he could play golf so effectively. Now listen, friends, this is what in yoga, in Eastern philosophy, they talk about this. Nobody can prison you because you are made of your mind. They can prison your body, but they cannot prison your mind. But there are a lot of people who are free to walk around, but their mind is in a prison. Their body is free, but their mind is already in a prison. Their beliefs, They have beliefs. They have beliefs that are limiting. They have stupid beliefs that limits them. They never question those limits. They never question those beliefs. They just accept it. And they become stupid because of that belief. Somebody said it, somebody talked about it, somebody kept on talking about it, and you kept on believing it, and you become stupid because of that. Do you know how many people have become stupid because they never question? They just follow like cartoons. I don't know whether cartoons really follow. I hope you wake up this morning. It is your right in the 21st century. Listen, it is your right in this 21st century, living in a democratic country. It is your right to become successful. It is your right. You don't have to become a beggar. You don't have to ask people's favor. You don't have to, go and count out all kind of people. You discipline yourself. You call people every day. You see people every day. This is a question of whether you respect yourself. And you'll be earning money that you can't even spend. It all begins with your belief. It begins with your mind. Now, if you start thinking that it is somebody's responsibility to make you rich, if you think it is someone's responsibility to keep you healthy, you have got it all messed up. Because that somebody may not do it, then you're gone. That is why 98% of the people in this world are always blaming other people. They don't want to take the responsibility upon themselves. You know what is the excuse they give? Hey, susah lah, macam tu. Have you heard that? Hello, are you with me? In Kelantan, they say, apa, you orang apa benda ni? Apa, you? Kelantan way of talking. Everything, pa, you orang buat. West Coast boleh, oh, susah nak buat. You know how the Tamil will say, ரொம்ப கஷ்டம் sir. ரொம்ப கஷ்டம் sir. English speaking, problem, Mr. Sugu. Not easy, problem, It's some problem, You look at the mentality. Look at the mindset. Good for them. But you know how they say, problem. Oh, this one difficult. So what do you want? Everything easy, huh? You want everything to be laid down for you. So you Maharaja come. Even they are now shaking. Don't go into that. Come back to the subject. Hello, are you?